Hello, friends. Something just struck me, and I thought it wise to share with you. I was reading a particular book about one Jewish boy, and it gets to paint pictures of how he grew. So it talks about his growth process. And it caught my attention that the boy was actually, it talks about three things about the growth of the boy. So it said that the boy was sitting in the company of teachers. And then it says that the boy was listening. And then it says that the boy was asking questions. And I got to extract these three lessons when it comes to growth, because the other parts of the book now gets to tell us of the exploits that this guy did. He grew from a boy to a powerful man. But then these are the tripartite dimensions of his growth process, that he sat amongst teachers and he was listening, and then he was asking questions. And I got to sit and meditate on these three, and I realized that we have a generation that hardly does these things. Many people are in a hurry, so when you get people who are learning, you will hardly sit down. Many people want to learn as they're also learning this, as they're also learning that, as they're also listening to that, and so they'll hardly sit down to listen. So what does sitting down represent? Sitting down signifies no rush. I'm here to learn, no rush whatsoever. Sitting down signifies, or rather represents, a prolonged period of dedication, that I am here to learn, I'm interested in this thing, and I will stay for as long as I can to learn this thing. These are parts of growth. All right. Sitting down represents a magnitude of dedication to learn and to absorb information. So the boy sat down. The boy in stillness now, right? You know, when you're in a hurry, you can't even sit down. Have you gone to a place and the people, maybe the host offers you tea or something to eat, and you say, no, I won't even enter. I won't sit down. I'm in a hurry. But then sitting down shows that level of stillness, that level of commitment to absorb the knowledge that is being given unto you. That's sitting. That's number one. Number two, it said that, and he was chilling with teachers. That means people who are ahead of him, people who know something that he'd want to learn. Meanwhile, he was just a young boy, right? Number two, so it's very important to check the kind of company that you keep. If you are the smartest amongst fools, you're really not making progress. Is that right? If you boast of how tall you are in the company of dwarfs, you really are just puffing yourself up, but you really don't have anything tangible to celebrate. So he was sitting with the teachers, he was listening. Listening signifies an undivided attention that he was giving them. You know, you can be somewhere, but you're all over. You can be somewhere, but your mind is at home. Your mind is. So he was seated, he was listening. That shows undivided attention. That shows a kind of understanding that you can receive so that you respond better. He was not just listening so that he can, no, he was listening to understand. So he sat down amongst the teachers, he was listening so that he can understand, so that he can respond appropriately. And the last thing that I extracted from this story is that he asked questions. That shows intentionality. That shows a proactive approach to understanding, right, and solving problems. That shows a drive to learn. That shows a kind of knowledge that you want to acquire so that you can gain deeper insight. He asked questions. He asked questions. It shows a level of humility and openness, that I agree, I'm here to learn and I don't know a lot of things. So please, my teachers, if you can help me, then I'll be more than honored. And it's such a privilege to sit here and learn from you people. It signals the willingness to learn from your peers. So you don't just sit and listen, then you leave. How you know that you have, how you verify whether you have understood the information you have received, is by the questions you asked. Someone once said that it is not just enough to ask questions, but it is better if you ask the right questions. How you know you have understood your information is by the kind of information, or rather the kind of questions that you asked. So what's the quality of your questions? Right? What's the quality of your questions? And more than that, we now see that in the next part of that book, it now said that this boy grew to a point where he also began to answer questions. And it says that he had a better understanding and he began to answer questions. So the more you sit down with people who know things, the more you listen to them, the more you ask questions, you can also, after some time, you can also graduate to a point where you have become like them. One great man once said, if there are 5 successful people around you, you did not count well, they are 6, because you're the 6th one. So he grew in understanding and he began also to answer questions. Now, the totality of this growth is that after a few sentences down the line, it now said that the boy grew in wisdom and in stature, right? In wisdom and in stature. In wisdom and in stature. He grew in it. And this is the totality of growth in whatever area or field you are in your life. And yes, you're right. I'm talking about Luke chapter 2, verse 46, all the way down to 42. That boy grew into a man who did exploits. A Jewish boy grew into a man. His name was Jesus Christ. All right, thank you. Have a good day.